boy. Time for another great day in the internet.
Better, 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 better. Better, 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 better. Better, better. Gotcha.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, bro? Nah, just chilling.
Yeah.
Say what? What? Hold on.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
There's gotta be some type of mistake. They sold how much?
Huh? Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
So, I guess I have to preface this by saying that I've owned a Nintendo Switch, Wii U, when nobody else was buying a Wii U, but hardly anybody. A Wii, a Nintendo GameCube, that I remember that I actually owned it when I was like 12, 13, and then I remember I switched or I swapped it with somebody else for maybe a PlayStation 2 or something. I don't know. But I remember being a poor kid and barely being able to afford games, so I had to make some executive decisions, so to speak. But point being is that I've owned Nintendo consoles for the best part of the last 25 years. Yes, 25 years. And I love Nintendo games. There's some of my favorite experiences that I've had ever, right? I remember playing Super Mario Galaxy back when it came out. God, it's been almost 20 years, but I love playing some of those games, right? And I say that to mean that if I seem like I'm very critical of Nintendo, is because it's coming from a place of love, because I don't want to see them going down this path. And they've gone down this path before, with the Wii U, but and the 3DS. However, they rectified that rather quickly, right? Unfortunately, it does not seem like that's the case now, because yes, they are overcharging for games, right? They are doing really scummy things, and it doesn't seem like it's affecting their bottom line quite as much as I would hope. At least right now. I think, I've seen some videos by Nintendeen, and yes, these are most likely selling numbers rather than sold through numbers, meaning that they are selling these units to retailers. So these 10 million units are not necessarily 10 million units that are in people's hands, right? Be that as it may, I think it's really still sending a negative message to the industry and just consumers and people as a whole if we are allowing these shenanigans to happen, right? If we allow Nintendo to get away with these sort of practices, because it's not right. It's not right, like at all. Right now, people are going hungry. There's a cost of living crisis, not just in the United States, in the whole world, right? Like food stamps are cut out because the government is shut down, and President Trump is doing all sorts of shenanigans that are causing, that's causing everything to go up, not just food, but housing, the cost of materials, just everything, right? So, well, the only thing that's not going up is my wage. Let me tell you that. No, but seriously though. So the thing is that right now people are literally going hungry, and I think it's rather scummy from Nintendo to actually charge $20 to get graphical upgrades to a 8-year-old game, damn near 10-year-old game, right? I remember, buying Skyrim on Steam, and I logged in one day and it was I think it was the anniversary edition or some type of special edition. And then I did not even have to do anything. The special edition version was there. It just popped up on my game library, and I was like, huh. If this were Nintendo, well, we've already seen that they charge $20 for graphical updates. So it's really disheartening to see what Nintendo's doing. And I think for us as consumers, we should be rewarding companies that are actually doing right by us instead of allowing Nintendo and Microsoft. I spoke about Microsoft a couple of weeks ago, and I'm glad that people were unsubscribing en masse because they raised the price to, I think it was 20. I don't remember. I think it was $20 before a month, and now is $30 a month, right? So it was a 50% increase to Game Pass Ultimate, and now that was too much, right? It is too much, and I think that people should be behaving like that with Nintendo, but I guess not. So they're in part allowing Nintendo's greed to be rewarded. What are they doing that's so bad? I think many people have already spoken about it, but for one thing, you shouldn't, like I said before, charge $20 for a graphical upgrade pack to a game that is 8 years old. You already made your money back on that game, and then some, right? And yes, I'm talking about Zelda Breath of the Wild, right? And there's others. I know that Nintendo has given out some free upgrades, but it's not enough. I feel like every Switch 2 game that has come out, or every notable Switch 2 game that Nintendo has put out, they should be giving out upgrades for free. Just like what Reggie said, right? And don't take my word for it. Reggie, he said that he had to fight tooth and nail to get Wii Sports to come free with the Nintendo Wii, and that ended up being a success. And now we're seeing how Nintendo is charging $10 for a tech demo. This is really the Nintendo that we have right now. Ever since Iwata passed away, IRP Iwata, right? And ever since he passed away, Nintendo has been going down this path of just profit, never mind anything else, And I think it's just putting the short-term gain in order to at the cost of long-term sustainability, because I don't think that long-term is going to be sustainable, right? So I mean, for me, I don't think I'm going to go back if this is how things are. I'll probably try to, do some PC gaming, because Xbox, Lord knows I'm not going back to Xbox. PlayStation, yeah, they do have some fun games. I was playing some of their games, and contrary to popular belief or what Nintendo and their lawyers would have you believe, they don't own a patent to fun or innovative game mechanics, right? Shout out to Paul World. So they do have some fun games that I love to play. I did find out the other day though that most of their games are on PC anyway, so I was thinking about it. Why did I even buy a PS5 Pro? But anyway, I digress. So, long story short, I feel like people buying this Switch 2 console is sending the wrong message to the gaming industry that they can get away with all these shenanigans, right? So I think that it's best if we just don't buy it as a society, but I know that's not going to happen most likely, so I'm just going to bow out and then just try to get my own, handheld PC to replace what the Switch 2 would have been, right? So I've been thinking about maybe buying a, what is it called? Lenovo Legion Go, or maybe one of the other ones with Strix Halo, which I know they're a lot more expensive, but I think it might be fun, right? So I think more for Nintendo. The problem with Nintendo is not just like the cost of the console. I think the cost of the console is fine, but it's just how, like I said before, how they're going about monetizing the whole thing. is really scummy. How do you hide a game chat feature behind a paywall, bro? A paywall. Everybody has had game chat for the past 20 years. Welcome to modern gaming, Nintendo. It only took you about 20 years, but yes, in the year of our Lord 2025, they're hiding a game feature behind a they're hiding a physical button behind a paywall. Like, who does that? Oh man. But anyway, I think I'll leave my rant for the day. I'll leave my rant there for the day. And yeah, hopefully, I start posting soon, or posting more regularly soon, so we can talk about video games or whatever else pops up in my mind. So yeah, this is Arpaner, and I'll see you soon. Until then, game on.